Hello, everybody. It's rightly said, education is not just about going to school and getting a degree. It's about widening your knowledge and absorbing the truth about life. Believing the say, let's resume our voyage for enhancing communication. Here, we are learning word order. It's very simple. Let's quickly look at it. Verb should be followed by an object, and place should be followed by time. Did you watch all evening television? Don't you feel there is some mess in the query? It should be, did you watch television all evening? So after the verb, you should have the object. Did you watch television all evening? Tom started last week his new job. Again, there's some mess. It should be Tom started his new job last week. I borrowed 50 pounds from my brother. Okay, so what I should have, a verb should be followed by an object. In the sentence, I drink every day 3 cups of coffee. What is the object over here? It's 3 cups of coffee. So what I should have is, I drink 3 cups of coffee every day. Lisa walks to work every day. Everything's fine in the sentence. No need to change. So in the above sentences, you can see that word order was not proper. What you should have is, you should have a verb followed by an object, and then you can have the other part of the sentence. Sue reads a newspaper every day. So here reads is the verb, a newspaper is the what do you call object. Okay, so it's all right. The I usually go to bed early. This is also okay. We arrived at airport at 7 o'clock. So over here what you can see is, at the airport is the place, at 7 o'clock is timing. Okay, so what we should have, a place should be followed by time. But if I had a sentence, we arrived at 7 o'clock at the airport, it is wrong. What you should have is, we arrived at the airport at 7 o'clock. Okay, place should be followed by time, verb should be followed by an object. So this is proper word order. Further, we'll be seeing the use of always, usually, often in sentences. Okay, so she's always late. So here I want to say that she's late, but how she is always late. Okay, so actually I can say this always is adverb and late is verb. Okay, so this adverb is saying something more about this verb. Okay, so she is always late. Generally adverb is placed before verb. Do you often go to the restaurants? So over here, often is the adverb which is adding something more to the verb go. She sometimes look unhappy. Sometimes. We rarely watch television. Rarely. Okay, or we usually watch television. Okay, so it says what action you're performing, in what way you're performing. So it's, you're watching television but you're watching it rarely. It is usually very hot in summers. So it's usually. Okay, we seldom visit the coffee bar. It's seldom. They are never at home during the day. Never. Where's Laura? She's still in the bed. So here the word still is the adverb. Like she is in the bed, but she's still in the bed. Okay, so still says something more about being in the bed. That's why still is the adverb. Do you speak Italian? Yes. And I also speak French. So it's adverb over here. Fine. So I hope you have got the use of always, usually, and often. It's very simple. Let's further learn the use of still, yet, and already. Still is used when I want to say something, it's same as before. Okay, if something is same as before, I use word still to describe it. Yet is used to explain until now, and already is used to explain something which is earlier than expected. Okay, so let's use it in sentences. It is still raining outside. That means something is same like before. Like previously also it was raining, and now also it is raining. So it is still raining outside. Did you sell the car? No, I still have got it. Okay, I was having it previously and now I have it. So it is, I have still got it. Do you still live in Barcelona? So it is still live in Barcelona. No, I live in Madrid now. Okay, I sorry, the red bus didn't come yet. Okay, so over here, yet, we are describing yet. Yet means until now. Okay, so it is that the bus, this guy, man is waiting for the bus, and bus didn't come yet. Where's Emma? She isn't here yet. So that means she isn't here until now. Okay, so it is described using the word yet. Are you ready to go out? I answered, not yet, in a minute. Okay, she hasn't gone yet. She is still here. So you can see in these two sentences you have the use of yet as well as still. She hasn't gone yet. She is still here. I haven't finished eating yet. Okay, until now my eating is not finished. I'm still eating. What time is Joe coming? He's already here. So here we have the use of the word already. It means earlier than expected. Okay, so Joe has come earlier than expected. Sarah is not coming to theater with us. She has already seen the flick. The flick is a movie, right? So she has already seen. That means she has already seen that movie and now she's not coming with us. Okay, so already means earlier than expected. So don't you feel use of still, yet and already is very simple? Okay, so here we have few adverbs. We'll just throw a light on it. If I have, like, I'm going to answer how. Talk, but have to talk quietly. So talk quietly. Quietly is an adverb. Okay. Yellow highlighted things are adverbs. Talk quietly. Sarah drove slowly. How did she drove? She drove slowly. She examined the box carefully. Okay, so quietly, easily, carefully, well, slowly, badly. You speak English well. Okay, so how do you speak English? It's well. Okay, so all these things are the adverbs to describe how. Next, we have for when. Now, today, later, yesterday, tomorrow. Leave now, come later. Tony left yesterday. Post the parcel today. Fine. So the next what we have is to answer where. Here, there, inside, outside, nearby, or overseas. Okay. Bring it here. I used to live there. Where did I used to live? There. The issues are happening overseas. So these are related to where. Next is how often. That is always, often, rarely, sometimes. Okay. How often? You always complain, or I can say you rarely complain. Check your work often. Toby sometimes lies. Okay, so these are the answer to how often. How much? Very, extremely, entirely, too, enormously. The rip is extremely noticeable. Don't work too hard. It is entirely inappropriate. Fine. So you can use these adverbs in your sentences. It's as simple. Further, we'll be seeing the use of so and because. So is result of something, whereas because is reason for something. Okay, as I said, so is result of something. We'll be using it in sentence. It is very hot. Okay, what is the thing? It is very hot. As a result, I'll be performing an action. It is very hot, so I opened the window. So why did I open the window? It is very hot. So result of this is I opened the window. Okay. Joe does a lot of sport, so he is very fit. Okay. So I can say that he does a lot of sport and as a result of that he is very fit. That's why we use the word so. Fine. So we use the word to so to denote result of something. I opened the window because it is very hot. Now this time because is used to describe reason for something. Okay. I opened the window. Why did I open the window? Because it is very hot. You can see the same sentence I have described using so also. So I wrote over there, it is very hot, so I opened the window. You can compare the two statements. It will explain you better. Lisa is hungry because she didn't have breakfast. So why is she hungry? Because she didn't had a breakfast. So using because you give the reason. Fine. Because it is very hot, I opened the window. I want to say here, this part can proceed first or this part. Okay. So because it is very hot, I opened the window, or I can say I opened the window because it is very hot. Okay, both are okay. I was late and I was tired, so I went to bed. Okay, so here I'm saying I was late and I was tired. Okay, as a result of this, I went to bed. Fine, so I went to bed. Or I can say, I went to bed because I was late and I was tired. He looked so handsome. Uh, okay, here I want to say so. Now, why so is used over here? Can you think for a moment? The answer is very simple. He looked so handsome. So, over here, so is acting as if it is an adverb. Okay, so it is acting as if it is an adverb. He looks so handsome. Fine. So, this is about so and because. Here we are learning about use of when, before, while, after through different sentences. It's very simple. Let's do it. When I went out, it was raining. It was raining when I went out. Always look both ways before you cross the road. It can also be said as before you cross the road, always look both ways. While I was waiting for the bus, it began to rain. It began to rain while I was waiting for the bus. So you can see I can write in both the ways. It means the same. Both ways are correct. I will wait here until you come back. Use of until is shown here. Now till is informal way for until. Okay. So I can also say I'll wait here till you come back. Both sentences are okay, but generally until should be used because it's a formal way. Please close the window before you go out. Okay, so here you can say before you go out. Lisa will be in Mexico when Sarah is in New York. Few people say the sentence as Lisa will be in Mexico when Sarah will be in New York. It's wrong. Okay, what it should be, Lisa will be in Mexico when Sarah is in New York. After he broke his leg, he never played football. I can also say, when I go home this evening, I'm going to have a shower. What if I say, when I will go home this evening, I'm going to have shower? Is it right? You need to think it. Further, here we have compared whether and if. Okay, when to use whether. I use whether in order to express doubt or a question. You also check the spell of whether. It's WHETHER. Okay, be careful while writing this. So when I have certain doubt or I need to ask a query, I can use whether. I don't know whether I can come to your party, so I'm doubtful if I can come to your party. Do you know whether it will rain tomorrow? Okay, so here a query is asked. Then if can also be used as whether in order to express a doubt. I don't know if I can come to your party. So here you can see in sentences the same, just in place of whether we are using if. Then it can also be used as a conditional clause. Like I'll come to your party if it doesn't rain. Okay, so it's a conditional clause. Generally we use if in order to express the conditions. And we also use the if in order to have polite request. It would be nice if you could make me a cup of tea. Okay, it would be nice or it would be kind of you if you could repeat the lesson. Okay, in this way you can use if. So generally if is used same as whether in order to express doubt, or it can be used to place conditional clause, or it can be used to place a polite request. Let us see use of if in different conditions. Okay, as I said, if is used to represent conditions. So let us see how. Now I have grouped these sentences in groups of two. Okay, so let us go to the first group. So if I want to represent a fact which are generally true, or there are certain scientific facts, I use this kind of sentences. What do I mean is here, if you stand in rain, you get wet. This is but obvious. If you stand in rain, you get wet, right? So here I want to represent a fact. Okay, so I have represented it in a simple sentence. If you stand in rain, you get wet. If you heat ice, it melts. So this is the fact which we are representing. Okay, so this is simple use of if. Further, if it rains, we will cancel the trip. So in this sentence, okay, this is our second group where I want to represent a possible solution in future. Here I want to predict a likely result in future. Okay, so if it rains, we will cancel the trip. So what is difference between first type and second type is use of will. Okay, Here we simply say it melts. You get wet. You should not say you will get wet. Okay, you should say you get wet. So here what is the difference? If it rains, we will cancel the trip. If you study, you will pass the exam. Okay, so here we are trying to predict a likely result in future. Okay, so for that we are using will. The third group, what we are trying to do is we are trying to represent hypothetical or unlikely situations. For example, if I won the lottery, it's hypothetical situation, right? It's very unlike situation. So here what I would do, if I won the lottery, I would travel a lot. So what difference you can find among the three groups? Here I have would, here I have will, and here I didn't had anything. Okay, so if I have hypothetical or unlikely situation, I go to these type. If I won the lottery, I would travel a lot. If they sold their house, they would be rich. Okay, so over here we represent unreal, okay, or improbable situation now or in future. At that time we use this would, use of would is there. Okay, the next and final group where I have like a person is imagining a different past. Okay, imaginary situation that did not happen. At that time we will be using this kind, would have, would have. So let us see the sentences. If you had studied, you would have passed the exam. So this is the like imagining something in a past. Okay, so if you had studied, you would have passed the exam. Or I can say, if I had not been sick, I would have gone to the party. Okay, so this is again imaginary. If this event would have occurred in past, okay, then I have constructed these sentences. So you can see, if you're representing scientific facts, you don't use any form of will. Okay, so the first sentence is without will. In second group, a possible solution for future is there, right? At that time we use will. Okay, so here we are predicting a likely result in future, so we use will. In third case, where we have hypothetical or unlikely situations, we use would. And in the fourth case, where person is imagining a different past which didn't occur, at that time we use would. Would have, would have. If you had studied, you would have passed the exam. It is that simple. I hope you understood it. Here we have use of if and when in simple statements. These are used to express law of nature or general truth. If we go by bus, it will be cheaper. It will be cheaper if we go by bus. Is it okay if I use your phone? If the phone rings, can you answer it please? If I go out, I'll close the door. When I go out, I'll close the door. Here comes use of if and when in the same sentence. If I go out, I'll close the door. What does it mean? It means probability, that if it's a possibility, right? If I go out, then and then I'll close the door. Okay, but here surely I'll go out, definitely it will happen in future. So when I go out, I'll close the door. So here this is going to happen definitely, and this is a possibility. Okay, if I'm late this evening, don't wait for me. Here I can't use when. If I say when I'm late this evening, don't wait for me, that means surely I'll be late in the evening. This won't happen, right? So you'll be explaining possibility, right? So you should say, if I'm late this evening, don't wait for me. Okay, using when is wrong over here. Here we have few more sentences where if is used. Okay, so this table can help you to construct sentences using would. If he had money, he would buy a car. Like what does it represent? It represents hypothetical or unlikely situations, right? So if he had money, he would buy a car. He would buy a car if he had money. I don't know the answer. If I knew the answer, I would tell you. It's not a very nice place. I wouldn't go there if I were you. What would Tom do if he was here? I'll help you if I can. If I had time, I would go today. I would help you if I could, but I can't. I would buy it if it wasn't so expensive. I would be happier if I could get a better job. She wouldn't be happy if she lived in a country. So you can just go through these sentences, okay, for your practice. Further, we have little and few. So, what is little? We use little before uncountable noun. For example, little water, little time, little milk, right? So, uncountable things are preceded by little. Little money, little soup, okay? What about few? Few comes before plural noun. Few books, few questions, few people, okay? So, the countable but plural, okay? Then I'll be using few. So here you can see as an example, I'll be further explaining you a little and little. There is a difference between a little and little. You can see the first sentence, I have got a little money. And in the second you say, I have got little money. So here you can see the smiley is happy whereas the smiley is sad. Why is it so? It's difference of a little and just little. Okay, so what does a little mean? It means some but not much. Okay, some but not much. And what does little mean? Little means nearly no, not at all, nothing. Okay, so when I say I have got a little money, that means I have some money but not much. And here when I say I have got little money, by that I mean I have no money, I'm poor. Okay, this way English plays with us. Similarly, if I say a few and few, okay, so next is few and a few. A few means some but not many, and few means nearly no. Let us do it with the help of examples. So I have few examples as, can you speak Spanish? A little. That means some but not much. Are there any shops near here? Yes, a few. That means some but not many. There was little food in the fridge. That means the fridge was nearly empty. There were few people in the theater. That means theater was nearly empty. They have little money. That means they have nearly no money and they are poor. They have a little money. That means they have some money and they are not poor. I have got few friends. That means I have nearly no friends. I'm lonely. I'm sad. And if I say I have got a few friends, that means I have some friends. I'm not lonely. I'm not sad. Okay. So in short, we can say a little or a few is used to represent certain positive sense. Fine. Whereas little, few denotes negative sense. Here we have a filler. Read aloud with me. You look tired. I feel tired. You sound happy. I am happy. It smells good. So here you can see it smells good. It is not it smell good. It smells good. Read aloud with me. He is tired. He looks tired. He feels tired. It is good. It smells good. It tastes good. They are happy. They look happy. They sound happy. And when I use I can say I feel tired. I am good. And I am happy. So now let us learn at, it, in and on. These are the prepositions. Let us see how they are used with times. At. At is used to describe clock times, exact time of the day, night, holiday periods. In is used with months, years, morning, afternoon, evening, seasons, centuries and eras. On is used with days, dates, holidays, weekends, days appended with morning, afternoon and evening. Don't panic, we'll do this with the help of examples. So let us begin. At. I'll meet him at 8 o'clock. So if I'm talking about a specific timing, I'll be using at. I slept at 10:30 or I slept at midnight. My class is at 10:30. Okay, so when we speak about specific time, we use at. The next is on. On is used with days of the week. I meet him on Sundays. So I'm using Sundays. What I want to say is I meet him on every Sunday. Or I want to say my class is on Monday. Okay. The next I would like to say Baisakhi is on 13th of April. So I'm talking about a specific date. Okay. Or it rains on 6th of June. Okay. Or Santa Claus comes on New Year's Eve. Okay. So when I'm talking about any day, maybe a weekday or maybe the date or any holiday, I'll be using on. The next we have is in. Okay. In, when I'll be speaking about a month or year or a season, I'll be using in. Okay. So if I want to say Baisakhi comes in April, here what did I say? Baisakhi is on 13th of April. So here I was specifically talking about the date. Here I'm saying Baisakhi comes in April. Okay. Or schools reopen in June. Or I can say he started his new business in 2003. Okay. Or I can say flowers bloom in spring. It's very hot in summer. Okay. So in that case, I use in. Okay. So here we have again at. So if I want to say a specific timing, like I woke up at 6 a.m. Okay. I have class at 10 a.m. So when I'm talking about a particular time, I'll be using at. Okay. But when I say I slept at noon or I slept at midnight, again I'm having at. I can also say he will come at night. Okay. So with night also we are using at. Then what about morning, afternoon? Okay. Morning, afternoon or evening we use in. Like he comes in the morning. Okay. Or he comes in the afternoon. Okay. Or he comes in the evening. So with morning, afternoon, evening we use in. Okay. Whereas with noon, midnight or night we use at. Okay. That's clear. Further, when I say holiday, when I talk about holidays, with day I use on. Okay. For example, I say on Christmas Day. Santa Claus comes on Christmas Day. So here I want to say that he comes on specific that day, like 25th of December, which is Christmas Day. So I want to say Santa Claus comes on that day. Okay, Christmas Day. And I can also say like at Christmas Day. When I say at Christmas, not day, but when I say at Christmas, I'm talking about season of Christmas. There are few days which are considered as season of Christmas. Okay, so when I say at Christmas, I'm talking about the season of Christmas. So I can use it in sentence like people are very happy at Christmas. So I'm saying during that season of Christmas, people are very happy. Okay, and when I say on Christmas, I'm talking about that particular day. When I say at Christmas, I'm talking about that season. I hope it's clear. So further things we have already seen. Days of week, Monday and all will be using on. Then any specific date will be using on. Okay. Then again for in, like in April, in May, in 2003. Fine. So for that we'll be using in.